Hey everybody, this is Daniel and Kelli from fitnessboner.com, and today we're going to run you through a little bit of a Pilates routine, refocusing on the legs and the core. So go ahead and get a mat if you don't have one already. We'll get started here in just a second. Okay, let's go ahead and start out laying flat on your back. We're going to warm that core up a little bit with some imprints. So go ahead and lay flat down, legs out. If you want to feel the change, you can put your thumbs on the base of your rib cage, fingertips on the crest of your hip. Also, you can bring your knees up to a 90-degree angle as well, like Kelli's doing. Otherwise, you can leave them out perfectly straight. Take a nice deep breath in, arch that back up. You should feel that thumb and first finger getting further apart. And exhale down, suck that belly button in nice and tight. Fingers getting closer together as those hips and rib cage come closer. And right back out. Inhale, arch it up. Exhale, press it down. The only difference between what Kelli and I are doing is with straight legs, it just takes a little bit more effort to press that lower back down.
This
Exhale.
is a good way to relieve pressure on the lower back as well, though. It's a little less awkward angle.
Just keep rocking it back and forth. Just a couple more repetitions. Nice full deep breath in, nice slow motion. Exhale down. Pull that belly button in, pull it in and freeze it. You're going to bring those knees up to that 90-degree angle if they're not there already. We're going to start with your left leg first. Nice and slow, bring it up to a tabletop position. So 90-degree angle on your knee directly above that hip joint. Nice and slow back down. Keep those abdominal muscles pulled in. Same thing with that right leg, bring it up. Freeze at tabletop. Nice and slow back down. Back to that left side. Keep those abdominal muscles pulled in nice and tight, pressing that lower back down against that mat. Breathing normally. So inhale as you bring that leg up. Exhale as you slowly drop that leg back down. Same thing on the other side. Inhale the leg up. Exhale the leg back down. Just keep alternating back and forth. Whatever you do, don't hold your breath. Keep checking those abs. Make sure you're pulling that belly button in nice and tight, pressing that lower back against the ground. One more. Inhale up. Exhale down. We're going to start back over with that left leg. We can bring it up to that tabletop this time and freeze it. Nice and slow. Bring that right leg up as well. Freeze out at tabletop. Left leg drops first, down, barely touch that foot to the ground, right back up. Same thing on that right leg, slowly down, barely touch that toe, right back up. Contract those abs, pull that belly button into your spine. Same breathing pattern, inhale as that leg comes in, exhale as the leg goes away. Keep checking those abs. You're going to be constantly trying to relax on you. That lower back's going to be constantly trying to lift up. Just keep checking it.
His muscles are shaking already.
Almost done. I'm going to do two more on each leg. Last one on each side. Bring it up and freeze it. Hug those knees into your chest if you want a little bit of a rest. Otherwise, keep those knees out at that tabletop position. We're going to go for one more round for the toe touch. You're going to keep those knees pinned together as close as is comfortable. Same motion, but this time with both legs. Drop down as far as you can go until you feel that lower back lift up. And then bring those feet and knees right back up again to that tabletop position. Nice and slow down as you exhale. Inhale, slowly back up. This is much more difficult than doing it with a single leg, so you might get a few tremors through those abdominal muscles. You might feel a lot of shaking, but just try to keep focus on pressing that lower back down to that mat. We're almost done. One more. Bring it back up and freeze. Hold it right there. Again, if you need to, hug those knees into your chest to give them a little bit of a break. Otherwise, keep them right in that tabletop position. We're going to focus on that quadricep, the front of that thigh. So back up to that tabletop position. Whenever you're ready, you're going to drop that heel down towards your butt. Keep that thigh perfectly stationary and extend that leg straight up as far as you can without letting that thigh move. Slowly back down as you inhale. Exhale, press it right back up. Full extension of those legs as much as you can. Still pressing that lower back down to that mat, pulling that belly button in nice and tight. Excuse me. We'll do two more. Last one, extend it up. Freeze it, hold it there nice and straight. Contract those abs, pull that belly button in. Legs locked out as best you can. Slowly start dropping them down. As soon as you feel that lower back lift up, bend those knees, let those feet touch. Otherwise, try to get them as low as you possibly can. As long as that lower back is still on the ground. And let it relax. All right, let's go ahead and roll over onto our stomachs. We're going to go through and we're going to start working on that lower back and a little bit into those glutes as well. So face down on that mat. Bring those hands up just outside of that shoulder width. We're going to start with your legs first. So squeeze through those glutes, lift those legs up off the ground, try to get those thighs up off the ground. You're going to tap those heels together twice and stretch those legs apart. Hopefully Kelly won't kick me in the face here. No. So exhale, exhale, tap. Inhale, pull those legs apart. You can have those hands down on the ground for support, or you can pull them up if you want that lower back to have to work a little bit harder. So exhale, exhale, inhale as they come apart. Exhale, exhale, inhale as they come apart. If you can get a little bit more range of motion than we are as far as getting those legs apart, try to go for as much range of motion as you can. We're a little bit limited because we're squeezing in here together. Go just a few more. Try to keep those thighs up off the ground the entire time. You should feel it through the outside of that glute muscle and down through the center as well as maybe a little bit into the inside and outside of those thighs. And of course, you should feel it in that lower back also. Two more. Pull them out and freeze it. Squeeze those thighs up nice and high. Contract that back, arch it up. Exhale nice and slow down. And let it relax for just a second. Arms and legs out, completely extended. You're going to start with your left hand and right foot. And then you're going to switch to right hand and left foot. We're going to be doing swimmers back and forth. So nice and slow. Left hand, right foot, squeeze it up. Nice and slow back down. Let it completely touch. And the same thing on the other side. Squeeze it up. Back down and let it relax. Just keep alternating back and forth, nice and slow. Keep those lungs open. If you want to get a specific breathing pattern with it, it's going to be exhale on the way up. Or sorry, reverse that. Inhale on the way up, exhale on the way down. So inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. Just keep alternating back and forth, nice, slow, controlled motion. Two more on each side. And let it relax for just a second. We're going to do that same exact motion over again. This time we're going to make it a little bit faster, a little bit harder. So if you can, you're going to keep both your hands and your feet hovering off the ground the entire time. Otherwise, you can let them touch a little bit for a little bit of rest, but try to keep them hovering if you can. So, arms and legs out for a full extension. Slowly hover them just a little bit off the ground. Start again, left hand, right foot. Squeeze it up, down. Same thing on the other side, squeeze it up and down. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Nice controlled motion, just a little bit faster than we were doing it before. Make sure you're looking down towards that mat. All those core muscles nice and tight. So same exact thing, but we're gonna speed it up again. So just keep those lungs open, breathing normally, just don't hold your breath, but speed that motion up a little bit more. Nice full extension on those legs and those arms. And slowly let it down. And let it relax. Sit back into child's pose or shell stretch. So child's pose with those hands out. Let it stretch for a second. Then back in that shell stretch, so hands back to those knees. Press those shoulders down into those hips. Really round that back. Let that one relax for just a second. Go ahead and lay back down onto your back. We're gonna do one more exercise, and then we're gonna do a couple stretches, and we'll be done. So our last exercise, just to really tire out those abdominal muscles a little bit more. So we're gonna do some hundreds. So with 100, the easiest version is keeping those feet on the ground, hands out by the middle of your thigh, contracting up, crunching up nice and tight. For the next hardest version, you bring those knees up to tabletop. For the next hardest version, it's a full extension on those legs. The lower you go down to the ground, the harder it's gonna be. You have to do this with that lower back flat against that mat in that imprint position, so pulling that belly button down nice and tight. So go ahead and get into position, sucking that belly button down, crunch up. Whichever version you want to as far as what you can handle. Hands nice and rigid, arm nice and rigid. Go from knee to hip, nice quick choppy motion. Inhaling 5 times. Exhaling 5 times. Just back and forth in, filling those lungs all the way up, exhaling all the way out. And nice and slow, bring those knees into your chest. Let those abdominal muscles completely release. Nice and slow, drop your knees off to the left, looking back to the right. And same thing the other direction, so drop those knees off to the right, looking back to the left. Just keep those lungs open, breathing normally, just let it stretch, let it relax. Both shoulders should be flat against the ground. Don't rotate towards those hips. And let that relax and roll over onto your stomach one more time. We're going to stretch those abs out once more with a Cobra Stretch. So hands down by the base of your rib cage. Arch up nice and high as is comfortable. Slowly back down. Sit back into that child's pose again. relax. All right, good job, guys. This quick Pilates routine is done. So this workout is complete. See you guys next time.